Dear soul, have you ever felt like you were being watched not just with eyes, but with wonder? There is someone who looks at you and sees something they never believed existed, a kind of presence, a kind of light, that they thought only lived in stories or dreams. Until now. This person, once guarded and skeptical, had stopped believing in certain things: soul connections, magnetic bonds, love that transcends logic. But then you appeared, not with noise or fanfare, but with the kind of quiet intensity that shifts entire worlds. And now, their world is shifting. Let's talk about this. Because what's happening inside this person? It's not ordinary. They didn't expect to feel this way. They didn't plan for it. But suddenly, your presence began to unravel layers they didn't even know they had. You reached a place so deeply hidden, they had almost forgotten it existed. A part of them they kept sealed, untouched by past loves, safe from disappointment. But your energy? It didn't ask for permission. It simply entered, and it awakened something powerful. At first, they tried to rationalize it. Tried to put you in a category, compare you to people they'd known before. But it didn't work. Because you are unlike anyone they've ever encountered. And that's what terrifies them. That's what draws them in. They're looking at you now and realizing they believed love should be logical, safe, predictable. But you are the exception to every rule they created to protect their heart. And now, they're starting to wonder. What if all those things they dismissed, soulmates, divine timing, that feeling of just knowing, were never myths, just truths they hadn't experienced yet? Your guiding angels are asking you to stay very present in this moment. Because something is about to shift. This person is at a crossroads between everything they thought they knew, and everything they are starting to feel. And it's not just about emotions, it's about identity, beliefs, and what it truly means to open up. What's coming? Something that may surprise you. Something that might even challenge you to stay open, even when it feels safer to retreat. Because the truth is, this person is about to do something they never thought they would. They are preparing to show you what they feel. Not with perfect words or a fairy tale moment, but in their own real, raw, human way. They're going to drop their guard. They're going to admit, maybe not with words first, but with actions, shifts in energy, and the kind of vulnerability that says more than language ever could. And you'll feel it. Maybe you already have. Little signs, the way they hesitate before walking away, how they seem to linger just a second longer in your presence, the look in their eyes when they think you're not paying attention. Those aren't accidents. They are emotional slip-ups from someone who's beginning to surrender to what they feel. The angels want you to understand this. You didn't just make them feel loved, you made them believe in love again. There's a massive difference. They had given up hope that real, healing, deep connection could find them. But you're the proof that maybe love isn't what they thought it was. Maybe it's braver, wilder, more sacred, less about safety, and more about soul. And even if they're afraid, even if their instincts are telling them to run, their heart is pulling them closer. Because you, dear soul, you carry a light that touches places within people they didn't know needed healing. You shine without asking for attention. You love without needing to fix. You simply are, and in being fully yourself, you change everything around you. So here's what's next. This person is going to begin to open, slowly, awkwardly, imperfectly. They may not know how to express what they feel in the way you deserve. But they will try. Because your energy is magnetic. And trying to forget you, ignore you, resist you? It's like trying to stop the sunrise with their bare hands. It won't work. You have activated something divine in them. And now they are being guided, by their own soul, by spirit, by the angels, to move forward with honesty and courage. There may be moments of doubt. Moments when you question everything, if they're really changing, if they're worth your time, if this is divine or just another heartbreak wrapped in pretty words. And that's okay. It's normal to question when your heart has known pain. But the angels are here to remind you, this isn't about rushing. This isn't about trying to force anything. This is about allowing. Allowing someone to grow into the truth they are just beginning to see. Allowing love to take form in its own timing. And allowing yourself to receive the love you once thought was impossible too. Now, take a moment. Breathe. Because what I'm about to say next is for your spirit. If you've felt invisible. If you've loved people who never chose you back. If you've been the one giving while others took. This moment, this connection, it's your turning point. And while the future is never promised in exact form, one thing is clear, you were never meant to love quietly. You were meant to be seen, felt, cherished. And this person is beginning to see you. Truly. So don't hold back your light now. Shine not for them, not to convince them, but because it's who you are. Because you, dear soul, are the miracle they stopped believing in, until you appeared. And if something in your heart whispered this message is mine, then write in the comments, I receive this love. Now. Because what comes next might just be everything you prayed for, and more. And if you want to walk this path with angels by your side, if you're ready for more messages like this to guide you through every uncertain step, make sure you're with us. Subscribe now. This journey isn't over. In fact, it's just beginning. Let's dive deeper now. Because what you're starting to feel, this stirring in your soul, it's not imagination. It's a call. A call from something greater than you and greater than them. A divine orchestration pulling two hearts into alignment, not just for romance, but for healing, for evolution, for something sacred that words often struggle to define. This person sees you now. Maybe not completely, not fully, but enough to recognize that something in you feels like home. And that home is a feeling they've searched for their entire life. But the road to opening up, to admitting the depth of this connection, it's not always straightforward. For them, it's filled with detours, old pain, fear of abandonment, fear of being too much or not enough. Their mind might say, this is too fast, too intense, too risky. But their soul knows exactly what you are. You are not a test. You are the answer to a prayer they didn't even have the words to speak aloud. Your angels are whispering this now with clarity. You were placed in this person's life to awaken them to what real love feels like. Not fantasy, not perfection, but truth, presence, intimacy that starts with honesty. You see, there is a moment coming. A moment that will define this entire chapter. This person will either choose to lean in, to drop their defenses, to allow the light you carry to soften them, or they will try, one more time, to walk away. But even if they take a step back, even if they fall silent again for a while, the imprint you've left cannot be erased. Because what's been activated between you isn't casual. It's karmic. It's cosmic. It's a reunion of energy that's echoed across lifetimes. And the more they resist, the stronger the pull becomes. Here's where it gets powerful, dear soul. Your role now is not to convince, not to chase, not to fix. Your role is to anchor, to stay rooted in your light, to keep living, growing, expanding, loving, not waiting but trusting. Because what is meant for you will never need to be chased. And this person, in the quiet moments of their heart, is realizing that too. They are realizing that no one else makes them feel the way you do, not because you tried harder or loved louder, but simply because you are. You are the kind of person who inspires others to become better, softer, braver. Your presence doesn't demand, it inspires. And that inspiration is awakening something within them. Let's take a breath here. Because I feel your heart. I sense the ache and the hope living side by side. And I want you to hear this from your angels. You are not too much. You are not hard to love. You are not impossible to choose. You are exactly who you were meant to be. And the right person, this person, is slowly realizing that choosing you is not a risk. It's a rescue. A rescue from a life of half-felt emotions and silent longing. This is why the universe placed you in their life now. Not earlier, not later, but exactly now, because this is the moment they were finally ready to see. And soon, Soon they'll feel ready to speak. Maybe in a single sentence that seems simple but means everything. Maybe in a gesture. Maybe in a message that reads like a whisper from the part of themselves they've kept hidden. You'll know it when it comes. Because it will settle in your chest like truth. And your soul will recognize the shift. Until then, stay open. Not to uncertainty, but to divine timing. Not to breadcrumbs, but to the full feast of love that you deserve. And if your spirit is saying yes right now, yes to the love that heals, yes to the connection that calls you deeper, then let this be your moment. Write in the comments, I am ready to receive what is already mine. And as you do, feel the light of your angel surrounding you, holding space, preparing the path, and protecting what is sacred. Because what's coming is not a maybe. It's a destiny. And now, dear soul, the energy begins to move in your direction. The angels are not just guiding this connection, they're also guiding you. This journey is not only about love with another person. It's about love with yourself. The deepest, most courageous, most radiant version of who you came here to be. Because here's the truth no one told you loud enough. You are magnetic not because you're trying to be, but because you've remembered who you are. That remembrance? That sacred knowing? That is what's calling everything back to you now. This person is being pulled not just to your beauty, your compassion, your heart, but to your alignment. Your groundedness. Your light. They are watching you navigate life with a grace that confuses and compels them. They see how you respond to pain, how you hold space for others, how you keep walking even when your heart is tired. And somewhere inside, a voice is rising in them that says, I want to be part of that. I want to stand beside that kind of strength. I want to be enough for someone like her. But it's not about being enough, and you know that. It's about being true, being present, being willing to rise to meet love halfway. And they're getting closer to that willingness. You've sparked something sacred. And you didn't even have to try. Just by being you, you've reawakened their soul. You've reminded them of what's possible. And now the old stories they believed, the ones that told them love was dangerous, messy, unreliable, they're starting to fall apart. And that crumbling? That's how miracles begin. But here's where you must be brave. This journey may require you to hold your heart with both hands. To stay grounded in your worth, even when old fears try to whisper, what if they never choose me? Let me tell you what the angels say, you have already been chosen. Long before they realized it. Long before they had words for it. The soul recognizes before the mind does. And right now, their soul is leading the way. You may feel the pull, the shift, the quickening. Like something is approaching. And you're right. Because what's coming next is not just a confession. It's not just them reaching out or taking a step closer. What's coming next is transformation. Not only in them, but in you. You are becoming someone who doesn't settle. Someone who doesn't shrink to be loved. Someone who doesn't chase or convince. You are becoming the woman who receives love, devotion, truth, tenderness. Not as a prize, but as a reflection of her divine essence. This person? They're learning how to rise to meet that version of you. And yes, it's taking time. Yes, it's requiring patience. But the angels are asking, can you feel it? Can you feel how everything is slowly aligning? That random dream you had? That moment they crossed your mind out of nowhere? That song that played right when you were thinking of them? Those weren't coincidences. They were confirmations. Messages from Spirit, reminding you, love is not lost. It's being prepared. And while the old part of you might be tempted to reach out, to ask to make something happen, the new you, she trusts. She magnetizes. She allows. And as you do that, you send a powerful signal, not just to this person, but to the entire universe. I am ready for real love. I am ready to be met. I am ready to be seen in the way I have always seen others. And now, let me ask you something that only your soul can answer. Are you ready to let go of the version of you who had to beg for crumbs? and step into the woman who feasts at the table of divine love? Because that's where you're being led. And the angels? They're already pulling up your chair. So take this moment. Close your eyes. Whisper to your own heart, I no longer chase. I attract. I no longer doubt. I trust. I no longer wait. I prepare. And then, open your eyes. And feel the shift. You're not who you were yesterday. You are becoming. And they're beginning to see the truth. The woman they never believed could exist? She's standing right in front of them. And soon, they'll come closer. Not because they have to, but because love like yours can't be denied. Let's take this all the way to your heart now. Because there's one more truth the angels want you to receive, not just with your mind, but with your entire being. You didn't come here to be someone's option. You came here to be someone's answer. And no matter how long it's taken, no matter how many false starts, silent goodbyes, or unfinished stories you've endured, this time, something is different. Because this person, they aren't just realizing that they love you. They're realizing that you changed them. Not in a way that asks them to become someone else, but in a way that makes them want to become who they were always meant to be. Stronger, softer, more present, more honest. They've never met someone who listens like you, who sees past their surface, who asks the kind of questions that stay with them for days, who loves without needing to be the center, but somehow becomes the gravity that holds everything together. They've watched you from the sidelines, how you show up in the world, how you forgive people who don't deserve it, how you choose peace over pettiness, how you carry grace like it's your birthright. And now, they're starting to wonder, could this really be real? Could someone like you really feel something for someone like them? And the answer is simple, but powerful, yes. Because what you feel is not fantasy. It's not projection. It's not one-sided. It's spiritual. You were drawn to each other because there's something to heal, something to remember, something to complete. And whether it resembles a lifelong love or a turning point in your awakening, this connection is sacred. But here's what the angels want you to hear most. You don't need this person to validate your worth. You don't need a message, a call, or a confession to prove you're lovable. You already are. You always have been. And when you stop waiting for someone else to tell you that, that's when the magic happens. That's when love stops being a question and starts becoming a reflection. So from this moment forward, live like the woman who knows she's already loved. Speak like the woman who believes everything is working in her favor. Breathe like the woman who trusts that the universe is conspiring for her highest good. Because she is already within you. And when this person steps forward, and they will, you won't welcome them with desperation. You'll welcome them with openness, with grace, with a calm understanding that what is real will rise, and what is ready will stay, and what is divine will never need to be forced. Let this be your new mantra. I am no longer waiting. I am preparing. Preparing for a love that chooses me the way I've always chosen others. Preparing for a love that sees me as sacred, not convenient. Preparing for a life that reflects the love I've given. And if this message stirred something inside you, if it spoke to a part of you that's been quietly praying for a sign, this is it. You're not imagining things. They feel it too. And soon, they'll show you. And when they do, don't be surprised if the words you've been longing to hear finally arrive. Not because you asked, but because they're ready. And until then, let this love begin with you. With how you speak to yourself. With how you treat your heart. With how you hold your boundaries like they are sacred altars. Because the truth is, dear soul, he sees you as something he never believed in. But what's coming is going to prove to both of you, miracles were always real. Especially the one that looks like you.